Theo Klein, an economist at Simone Storm Securities, says although Namibia's debt remains low among its peers in Africa, a large chunk of such borrowing has been used for unproductive consumption. Klein, in his presentation on the impact of debts on ordinary citizens during a public lecture series, also raised concerns with debt exceeding economic growth margins. He warns that such trends may create persistent budget deficits, prompting the begging for new loans, which may erode Namibia's ability to provide basic needs such as welfare payouts, healthcare and education.
This is concerning because as our economy does not grow, it does not add new jobs, no new businesses are established, obviously tax revenue from government will remain under pressure. And if debt continues to grow faster than your revenue, at some point you'll have less money available to spend on other social programs such as education, health. You'll have less money to invest in infrastructure, so roads, dams, ports and all these things. That's why this graph is very concerning. At the moment it's still fairly low, but if our economy doesn't start showing much higher growth rates and debt continues as it is at the moment, then as we move along into the future, government will have less and less money available.
Namibia has a likelihood of seeing its credit-worthy status worsening amongst rating agencies if the status quo remains intact, he further warns. The economist attributes this mainly to public servants' huge wage bill and less investments on development to construct ports, schools, clinics and roads to create jobs and boost economic growth.
Future generations will inherit a great amount of debt that they need to repay with their tax revenue. And they will sit with an economy that doesn't have a lot of productive capacity to create jobs, to stimulate general economic activity and keep things going. So future generations will have to do a significant amount of investment to really improve the growth rates of our economy, to create jobs that are needed for a growing population than what we currently are doing. And this is obviously a problem for future generations.
Meanwhile, an economist at the Namibia University of Science and Technology, Professor Teresa Kaulihoa, says Namibia's relatively low debts do not necessarily diminish any prospects of a default, especially if used unwisely.
Debt is actually borrowing resources from a lender to the borrower that will be transferred at some point in the future. The question is then that by the time it will be repaid, how will it be repaid? If it will be repaid, let's say, by increasing tax or through tightened monetary policy, then that is a problem. So inability to pay becomes a problem, and it will create a debt burden to the future generation. But if it will be repaid coming from economic activity that are booming in period, let's say T+1 or T+2, then we are not really much worried about high level of debt.
She hastened to point out that although debt is not necessarily bad, it is imperative to invest it wisely to accrue benefits which will enable any country to repay once they mature without any implications. Furthermore, a human rights advocate, Dr. Basilius Casera, also raised concern with borrowing which only enriches the elites without any spin-offs for the youth in form of jobs or capital for startups, saying it is highly unethical.